Some mornings it feels like the world wakes up before your eyes do. You open them and it's foggy, blurry, like someone smeared a film over everything you love to see. Your clock, the book on your nightstand, even the face of someone you cherish. And maybe you've been told that's just aging. But what if it's not? What if there's something simple, something already in your kitchen that could help your eyes heal while you sleep? I'm Dr. Brian, and welcome to Ageless Garden, where we use real science and heartfelt care to help you live stronger, longer, and clearer at any age. Today, I'm going to show you 4 snacks backed by real research and years of clinical experience that could actually help restore your vision overnight. And the last one, it's the most surprising, and it might be the one your eyes have been missing all along. When most people think about eye health, they don't think about their gut. But in my years working with older adults, I've found something remarkable. The journey to clearer vision doesn't always start with your eyes. Sometimes it starts in your stomach, more specifically in the tiny world of your gut bacteria. Let me explain it simply. Inside your gut, there's a delicate ecosystem of good and bad bacteria. When it's in balance, your body runs smoother. Inflammation is lower, your immune system is stronger, and yes, your eyes are healthier. This connection between gut health and vision is now so well recognized, scientists have a name for it, the gut-retina axis. Greek yogurt, especially the plain, unsweetened kind, is one of the most powerful ways to support that balance. Why? Because it's packed with probiotics, friendly bacteria that calm inflammation from the inside out. And inflammation, especially the kind that goes unnoticed for years, is one of the biggest hidden villains in age-related vision loss. I've seen this firsthand with a patient named Margaret. She was 71 when she came to see me, frustrated and frightened. Every morning, she said, her eyes felt dry and cloudy, like sandpaper over glass. She'd tried everything: drops, eye masks, even sleeping with a humidifier. Nothing touched the root of the issue. But when we started working on her gut health, everything changed. I suggested a simple nightly routine: a small bowl of plain Greek yogurt, about half a cup, an hour before bed. Within 3 weeks, she sat in my office smiling. "Dr. Brian," she said, "for the first time in years, I woke up without that gritty, blurry feeling. I actually wanted to go for a walk before sunrise." Now, yogurt isn't magic, it's biology. It works because it delivers nutrients your eyes need. Vitamin A to protect the cornea, zinc to support the retina, calcium to strengthen the nerve signals that pass between your eyes and your brain, all in a form that's gentle on digestion and sleep-friendly. See, sleep is when your body heals. Tiny tears in your cornea start to repair. Your retina clears out the debris of the day, waste products that build up under the constant pressure of light and focus. Your optic nerve takes a much-needed rest. But this process only works if you give your body the right tools. Greek yogurt is one of those tools. It doesn't spike your blood sugar. It helps you sleep better. And it delivers steady, calming nutrition that supports the natural overnight repair of your eyes. But here's the key: it needs to be plain and unsweetened. Many commercial yogurts are full of sugar, which feeds inflammation instead of fighting it. If you need a little flavor, sprinkle in a touch of cinnamon, which also has anti-inflammatory properties. Or add a few sunflower seeds, which we'll talk more about soon. This is about small, quiet healing. You won't wake up seeing in perfect clarity after one night, but over time, your mornings might start to look a little brighter. Literally. So if you're someone who wakes up with dry, foggy eyes, if you're tired of the film, the frustration, the fear that it's only going to get worse, consider starting with something simple: a spoon, a bowl, a little yogurt. It might be the softest thing you eat today, but inside, it's doing the hard work of helping your eyes repair themselves, even while you rest. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at a banana and thought of it as medicine? Most of us think of bananas as a quick snack, something to keep the hunger away or to slice into cereal. But for aging eyes, especially at night, this humble fruit may be doing a lot more behind the scenes than we realize. In fact, when eaten before bed, a banana can quietly support your vision in 3 remarkable ways. none of which have anything to do with the fruit's sweetness. Let me explain it the way I would to a patient sitting in my exam room. As we age, one of the biggest threats to our eyesight is pressure, specifically intraocular pressure, the fluid pressure inside the eye. If that pressure stays too high for too long, it can damage the optic nerve, quietly and permanently. This is a major contributor to glaucoma, one of the most common causes of vision loss in older adults. But even before that diagnosis, high pressure can lead to that familiar sense of blur, swelling, or morning puffiness around the eyes. Now here's where the banana comes in. Bananas are incredibly rich in potassium, a mineral that helps regulate fluid balance throughout the body. But it's not just about bloating or blood pressure. Potassium also supports the proper flow of fluid within the eye, helping to gently lower intraocular pressure and reduce puffiness that blurs your vision after sleep. And there's more. Bananas contain an amino acid called tryptophan. This little compound does something magical in the body. It helps produce serotonin, the feel-good chemical, and serotonin is later converted into melatonin, the hormone responsible for deep, restful sleep. Why does this matter for your eyes? Because sleep isn't just rest, it's repair. Your retina is one of the most metabolically active tissues in your entire body. It works harder than your heart muscle, believe it or not. And just like any hard-working part of you, it needs real, deep rest to repair itself. That's when waste is cleared, inflammation is reduced, and your optic nerve gets a chance to breathe. I remember a patient named Charles, 68. He was a quiet man who always looked a little tired, not because he didn't sleep, but because his eyes never seemed to feel awake. Every morning, he said, he'd have to blink 10, 15 times before things came into focus. He'd tried eye drops, blue light glasses, you name it. We talked about diet, about sleep, and I suggested a simple shift. Swap his usual salty crackers at night for half a banana before bed. Within a few weeks, he looked me straight in the eyes and said, "Doc, it's like I don't have to work so hard to see anymore." That's the power of these small choices. Now, before you start eating bananas by the bunch, remember, moderation matters. Too much fruit sugar can spike blood sugar, which does the opposite of what we want. But half a ripe banana, not too green and not overly soft, eaten about 30 minutes before bed, that's the sweet spot. It pairs beautifully with the Greek yogurt we just talked about. Together, they create a gentle, nourishing foundation that supports fluid regulation, nerve function, and sleep, all critical for healthy vision. And perhaps most importantly, it's easy. You don't need a supplement, a prescription, or a fancy machine. Just a ripe banana, your own body's chemistry, and a little intention. So if you've ever woken up feeling like the world is hidden behind a fog, if the glare of headlights at night makes you squint, or you find yourself leaning in just to read a label, your eyes might be asking for more than just rest. They might be asking for nourishment. And sometimes it really is as simple as a banana. Now, we've talked about yogurt and bananas, simple, familiar foods. But I want to take you somewhere a little more unexpected now, a place where ancient wisdom meets modern science. Let's talk about dates. Yes, I mean those small, sticky, naturally sweet fruits, the ones you might have seen in a holiday dish or tucked away in the baking aisle. But don't let their humble appearance fool you. Dates are one of the oldest cultivated fruits in human history, and for good reason. They were once prized by warriors and travelers in the desert, not just for energy, but for vitality. And now we're learning they may also hold surprising power when it comes to restoring vision, especially as we age. Here's why. First, dates are rich in polyphenols, plant compounds known for their ability to reduce inflammation and fight free radicals. That matters because the aging eye is constantly under stress. The retina, in particular, is exposed to light all day, and light exposure creates oxidative damage, tiny injuries to the cells of your eye that, over time, add up to fogginess, light sensitivity, and worse. Polyphenols help counter that. They're like fire extinguishers in the body, putting out the sparks before they become a blaze. But that's just the beginning. Dates are also packed with vitamin A, one of the most essential nutrients for night vision. You've probably heard of this one. It helps protect the cornea, the clear outer layer of the eye, and is crucial for your ability to see in low light. When you struggle with dim lighting, or find it hard to adjust when stepping from bright outdoors into a dark room. That's often vitamin A at work, or more accurately, the lack of it. And perhaps the most exciting part, dates contain lutein and zeaxanthin, two powerful pigments your body stores right in the macula, the part of your retina responsible for central vision and detail. These compounds act like built-in sunglasses for your eyes, helping to filter out harmful blue light from screens and fluorescent lighting, both of which can speed up degeneration. When your levels of lutein and zeaxanthin are low, the macula becomes more vulnerable. Vision becomes less sharp. Colors lose contrast. You start to feel that faded look even when you're wearing glasses. Dates help rebuild those stores, slowly, gently, over time. Now I know what you might be thinking. Aren't dates full of sugar? Yes, they're naturally sweet. But here's the twist. Unlike processed sugar, the sweetness in dates comes wrapped in fiber, minerals, and antioxidants. That slows absorption and helps prevent the kind of blood sugar spikes that feed inflammation. So when eaten in moderation, and that's key, they're not only safe, they're deeply nourishing. Let me tell you about Denise, a retired florist in her mid-70s. She was vibrant and loved life, but had all but given up night driving. The glare from headlights made her feel like she was walking into the sun. Her confidence began to slip. Even going out to dinner started to feel scary. We worked on her overall eye health, of course, but one of the small, consistent changes we made, a couple of soft medjool dates before bed. Within a month, she told me, "Dr. Brian, I drove home from my daughter's house at 9 p.m. and didn't feel afraid." Was it the dates alone? Of course not. But were they part of a broader pattern of healing, of intentional nourishment during the body's most crucial recovery window? Sleep? Absolutely. And here's how you can do the same. Start with just 1 or 2 medjool dates in the evening. Enjoy them slowly. Savor the sweetness. Let them replace dessert, the cookies or pie or chocolate you might reach for after dinner. You're not giving something up. You're giving your eyes exactly what they need. Sometimes the path to sharper sight isn't about adding more light. It's about protecting what's already there. It's about feeding the cells that help you see the face of someone you love, the fine print on your pill bottle, the street signs at dusk. And you can start with something as small as a date. Of all the snacks we've talked about so far, this one might be the smallest. But don't let size fool you, because sometimes the most powerful things in nature come in tiny packages. I'm talking about sunflower seeds. Now you might be thinking, seeds? For my eyes? And I get it. They're often seen as a crunchy little add-on, something you toss on a salad or grab by the handful during a game. But what's hiding inside those little shells is a nutrient powerhouse, especially when it comes to protecting and repairing your vision. Let's start with vitamin E. Vitamin E is one of the most important antioxidants in your body, and sunflower seeds are one of the richest natural sources you can find. Your eyes, particularly the retina, are highly sensitive to something called oxidative stress. Basically, the damage caused by too much exposure to light, air, and daily wear and tear. The retina processes all the light that enters your eye. It's like the film in a camera, constantly capturing images, translating them, and sending them to your brain. It works around the clock and needs a ton of oxygen to function. But that oxygen also means it's more vulnerable to damage, especially as we age. Vitamin E acts like a shield. It protects those delicate retinal cells from breaking down too early, from drying out, from becoming too fragile to do their job. And it's not just about protecting what you have. It's about giving your eyes the space and resources to repair. But sunflower seeds don't stop there. They also contain selenium, a trace mineral that boosts your body's own antioxidant defense system. Think of selenium as the fuel that helps vitamin E do its job more effectively. Together, they form a kind of rescue team for your eyes while you sleep, reducing inflammation, supporting tissue repair, and slowing down the oxidative aging process. Then there's zinc, another unsung hero in eye health. Zinc helps transport vitamin A from your liver to your eyes, where it's used to form something called melanin, a pigment that protects the eye from light damage. Zinc is particularly crucial for night vision and low light sensitivity, and sunflower seeds provide it in just the right amount. And finally, sunflower seeds are rich in healthy fats, including linoleic acid, which helps your body absorb all those fat-soluble nutrients, like vitamin E and vitamin A, more efficiently. This means that what you eat alongside sunflower seeds becomes more usable by your body, especially during the night when your eyes are trying to repair themselves. One of my patients, Harold, was 73, a retired mechanic who used to work on engines well into the night. He came to me frustrated by his morning routine. "Doc," he said, "I used to reach for my wrench first thing in the morning. Now I'm reaching for my eye drops." He felt like his eyesight was slipping, not dramatically, but slowly, quietly. He didn't like feeling dependent. So we made a few tweaks to his bedtime habits. One of the simplest, adding a spoonful of sunflower seeds to his evening snack, usually on top of a bit of yogurt, sometimes just by themselves. Within a few weeks, he told me, I forgot to use my eye drops yesterday, and I didn't even notice." Now that might seem like a small thing, but for Harold it was a return of independence, a signal that something inside him was working again, that the decline wasn't inevitable. Here's how you can use sunflower seeds wisely. Stick to raw or dry roasted unsalted seeds. You don't want the oils, salts, or artificial coatings that can undo the benefits. Just one small spoonful, about a tablespoon, is enough. You can sprinkle them over yogurt or blend them into a small snack mix with dates or banana slices. Simple, nourishing, powerful. When you think of eyesight improvement food, you might imagine carrots or leafy greens, and those are great too. But sometimes it's the quiet nutrients, the ones that don't advertise themselves, that do the most behind the scenes. Your eyes don't need gimmicks, they need real support, and that can come from something as small as a seed. Let's bring it all together into one powerful, nourishing habit, something I call the 3-minute eye healing ritual. Right before bed, ideally about 30 to 60 minutes after dinner, prepare this simple combination: 1-2 cup of plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt, 1-2 a ripe banana, sliced 1-2 medjool dates, pitted and chopped, 1 tablespoon of raw or dry roasted sunflower seeds. That's it. No fancy prep, no supplements, no tricks. Just real food with a real purpose, to gently trigger your body's natural repair cycle while you sleep. Now, I want to be honest with you. This isn't a miracle. It's not going to sharpen your vision overnight or replace your glasses in a week. But if you give your body the right tools and you stay consistent, most people start noticing changes within 2 to 3 weeks. Things like less blur in the morning, easier adjustment between light and dark, less reliance on drops or reading glasses, and most importantly, a return of confidence in your eyes. Healing takes time, but with small, steady steps, it's absolutely possible. If this message spoke to you, if you're ready to nourish your vision and take back control of your health, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to Ageless Garden. Leave me a comment. Which snack will you try tonight? Or better yet, share your own tip. This is a space for connection, not just advice. Remember, blurry mornings are not your destiny. Clear, confident vision can return, not through force, but through gentle, consistent care. I'm Dr. Brian, and I believe your best years are still ahead. Let's keep walking this path together.